So talk about that being sidetracked. What you said, obviously a girl had a heavy influence on you, looking for a place to kind of numb those feelings. You had friends that were already in that realm of life, and so it was kind of a mixture of the perfect storm, I guess, at the right time. Huh?
Yeah, you could say it was the perfect storm. You know, one of my best friends was drinking. He knew what I was going through, and at the time I was just drinking and doing cocaine at the time, you know. And at the time I was just like, no, I'm just gonna do this. And then we went to one of our older friends' house, and there's a pipe in there, you know, with meth in it and stuff. And my friend was like, come on, G, let's one time, you know, the famous one time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna do this, you know, thinking I could control my cocaine use, whatever. And he's like, dude, just one time, dude. I promise you, you'll feel better, whatever. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And then that one time led me for 8 years of, you know, the worst time of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like just having, and it's crazy because that friend was telling me, you know, make sure when you do this, don't let it mess with your mind. Don't let it mess with your mind. And so like I'm grateful for him for telling, because the whole time I was like, okay, like when I would think I saw something, I'll just be like, nope, that's my mind playing tricks on me. You know, I was able to stay, but now like my friend, he's like
gone. Yeah.
And I feel bad, you know. But I'm grateful I was able to keep my marbles, I guess.
Yeah. How are you even able? I consider you a walking miracle.
Yeah.
Like, because not a lot of people make it out of that.
Yeah.
What's the cheat code, or what is it that you did that you feel helped you pull yourself out of that dark place?
I think it's what a lot of other people did for me. You know, being in and out of jail and having my mom 100% like back me up through anything. And that's one thing my dad did not like about her, is that she would like baby us, and every time, you know, like she would always put money on my books and things like that. But then seeing all these people who I barely knew, like my judge, and my therapist, Leanne, she was one that saw a lot in me, you know. When I was in jail, I got locked up, and I was thinking for sure I was going to prison. You know, I was gonna go to my brother Willie, you know, and he, one time I called and he was like, yeah, I'll just hold the bed for you. And I was like, nope, I'm not coming in there. And then I went to jail and I was like, dang it, I should have knocked on wood, you know, or something. But yeah, when I talked to my attorney when I was last incarcerated, and she was like, yeah, it doesn't look too good for you, but I'm going to try. I'm going to see if I could get you into a program. And I was like, all right. And I didn't have high hopes for nothing, you know, because this was like I felt like it was my last chance, because my judge had told me, George, if you come back, I'm sending you to prison. It's a done deal. You never seem to cooperate with anything we do, probation, programs, things like that. So you know, I'm sending you to prison.
This is your last strike, basically.
And then I went back and I was just like, dang it. Like, I just remember what he said, and then
it was the same judge.
Yeah, same. This has been my judge my whole criminal
he
career.
Saw everything that you did.
Yeah, and so like when I went into jail this time, usually when I go into jail, I would call my mom, you know, the typical, yeah, Mom, let's fast, and my mom, you know, yeah, let's do that, and she'll fast. But this time when I went in, I didn't want to fast. I was like, I've asked Heavenly Father too many times, and He's looked out for me too many times. So what makes me think He's going to look out for me this time, you know? And so I called my mom one day, and she's just like, hey, Sia, let's, so I'm going to fast on Sunday. And I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't really want to. And then she was just like, no, let's just do it, okay? Let's just see what will happen. And then I was just like, all right, let's do it, Mom. And then you know, and then, but she was just like, you know, not to keep you from going places, but just to comfort you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that was one thing I always loved about my mom, is that she was always so strong in the church. And we fasted, and then the next Tuesday, I went, called my attorney, and she was like, yeah, you have court this day, so you'll come and I'll talk to you. So I went, and I'm doing it again. Like, hello, or hello.
We're working through it.
But yeah, so I went to court, and my attorney's like, you know what? I'm going to put you in drug court. And I was like, I already did drug court. And she was like, no, I feel like you'll do better this time. I know you'll do better. And that was the first person who I barely knew saw something in me that I can be somebody. And I was like, all right. Went out to the judge, and my attorney pretty much just said, yeah, judge, you know, I think I'm going to put him in drug court. Basically told the judge this, and the judge was like, oh, okay. Does the prosecutor have anything to say? And the prosecutor was like, you know, judge, I feel like Mr. Wolfgram, he's been in drug court before, never complied with any of the things we asked him to do. I mean, I feel like he should go to prison, but I guess we'll be okay with what the his attorney wants. And I was like, look back, and I was like,
Wow.
heck yeah. And then my judge was like, okay, you're in drug court, you know, and they gave me another chance. And I looked at that, and I was just like, you know, first my mom, you know, having the faith in our Heavenly Father to, like, you know, keep fasting, and, you know, He'll provide a way. And then all these people came into, and they all worked together to keep me out from prison. And that right there was what made me want to, you know, flip, like, turn back around. And, you know, I took a wrong turn, go back around and get back on the main path you're supposed to be on. You know, my mom, of course, and then just my attorney, and then my judge, and then having my therapist come to where I was sent. You know, all these people were put in my life for a reason, and I would feel like I'm slapping Heavenly Father in the face if I just went right back to doing these things, you know. And that's what kind of got me to turn my life back around, you know.
Yeah.
You know, living the street life, and trying to be a gangbanger, and you know, it just wasn't worth it. And I finally saw that this last time around. I finally saw that there's no happiness. You know, I have 4 beautiful kids that hardly ever get to see me because of that lifestyle, and it got me to change. And so yeah, like, having people that barely knew me feel something for me that I never saw myself was the turning point for me.